After what seems like years of trolling by the Tudor social media team, we finally get another dive watch inspired by Tudor's diving and military heritage. Put aside thoughts of a Tudor Submariner re-edition, it'll never happen, and gloss over the P01 that nobody asked for, a quirky watch that has its own unique charm. And forget the Ranger within a range, that is the Black Bay 58. The original edition, some would argue, to be the true reimagining of the Tudor Submariner. No, what we have here is something else. Another range within a range, but for once without the comfort of the Black Bay name. Welcome, the Tudor Pelagos FXD. I'm Andy and welcome to the English Watch. This channel is about me and my watch collecting journey, an amateur enthusiast with an eye for detail, always looking behind the watch for the story and helping similar like-minded individuals, like you, start your watch collecting journey. Now before we get started, hit the like button if you like this video and don't forget to subscribe. As always, please engage in the discussion after the video in the comments section below, where you'll also find links to my Instagram, some helpful hints and tips for looking after your watches, as well as some affiliate links to the tools I use in the making of these videos. In this video I'll take you through the history of Tudor's diver heritage and see where the FXD fits in. We'll look at the similarities and significant differences between this one and the long-standing Pelegos, for which it shares its name. I'll also let you know how I feel about this watch, but more importantly, what my favourite Tudor diver is at the moment and where my money would go. Today I'm wearing my Tudor Black Bay GMT. Released in 2018, I've owned it from new since 2019. Very nice. Now, the FDX, I keep saying FXD, but it's FDX. Or is it? Let's just check. FXD. FXD. That's what it is nestled within the small Pelegos family, consisting of essentially two variants since its 2012 release, blue and black. This is a hardcore dive watch with 500 meters of water resistance in a lightweight titanium case and bracelet. The bracelet is a work of art with a spring-loaded extension system that allows your wrist to shrink and swell by some margin, or allow you to throw it over a dive suit. They're joined by the odd left-hand drive version, obvious by the location of the crown to the opposite side of the watch, but also by the addition of red text and date. Arguably the cooler of the bunch, you can wear this on your right or left wrist depending on how you hold a pen, or just keep it on the left, having the crown point up the arm instead of digging into your wrist. At just over £3,000, these are great value, although I've seen plenty of photos of the loom plots missing around the bezel, and other examples of Tudor's quality issues. Epic loom can come at a price. The Tudor Pelagos is closest in design to the original Tudor Snowflake from 1969, an evolution of the Submariner lookalikes that came before. This new face with the squared off indices was designed to max out the loom to give divers better visibility of the dial. This is where the Snowflake nickname came from, with the hour hand gaining those right angles at the tip. This design language is echoed once again in the Black Bay range and forms part of Tudor's design DNA. The Black Bay with its rounded loom plots remain the link to the Tudor Submariners dating back to 1954 and man-marking the development of the Rolex Submariner up to its removal from the catalogue 20 years ago. And why you're unlikely to see that name again. So with the Pelegos now the diver's choice, a proper tool watch next to the Black Bay heritage line, it makes sense to use the range to launch a new alliance with the Marine Nationale, or French Navy. This is a relationship that goes back to 1956 when the GERS, a research arm of the French Navy, took in a selection of watches for tryouts. It was the Oyster Prince Submariner and its waterproofness that were judged to be perfect, and so started a long association with the French Navy. Now looking at the FXD, so named because of the integrated strap bar arrangement, there's no removable spring bars. Typically military watches would have the spring bars welded into place and use a NATO strap. Here Tudor have machined the retention features into the block, so this watch can only be used with a NATO style strap. Proper hardcore. There are differences to the regular Pelegos, some pretty significant ones as well. You'd almost excuse Tudor if they created a new range or just had this one stand out on its own as a special. But maybe this also points to a potential replacement of the existing Pelegos, now 10 years old. It's certainly food for thought. Apart from the strap system, this watch has a different dial. The loom plots don't sit inside the chapter ring as on the regular Pelegos. Is this better or worse? Well, it certainly gives the dial more room to breathe, and losing a line of text at the 6 o'clock gives the dial a cleaner look, more legible I'd say. Handy if you want to take it diving. The coin edging on the bezel and the crown are more pronounced to aid operation while wet or gloved, and the bezel sits a little wider to the case than the regular, also aiding purchase by the user. I find the tight knurling on the regular Black Bay quite challenging to grip. It's not really cut out for the life aquatic. On the back of the watch is engraved the Marine Nationale emblem, an anchor with NM21 designating the year of the relationship between both parties. Now, Tudor referred to the 12-notch bidirectional bezel as having a retrograde graduation for navigation by successive stages. So, instead of using a unidirectional count-up style diver's bezel as required for ISO 4625, this is a countdown bezel. Now, aesthetics apart, there's an argument that it's a little too fussy. I do think it achieves its job of looking different to the other divers in the Tudor's range, but just looking different isn't enough, and the graduations adjacent to the numbers, well, they're not existent, making this potentially hard to read. But look at the other dive watches out there, the Submariner and My Planet Ocean. Unless you're planning to accurately time more than 15 minutes, you're out of luck. So, what is this for then? Tudor described this as a navigation bezel, not a dive timer. Now, I assume that the diver would have something else for air management, another watch maybe, or a computer perhaps. No, what this does is allow the diving pair to swim at a constant speed relative to the magnetic compass vector for a specified time, and using the countdown feature for the watch to find your shipwreck or sunken treasure. I guess similar to orienteering over land using map references. Very niche. Otherwise, this watch is pretty standard fare with 200 meters of water resistance and automatic winding in-house movement with 70 hours of power reserve and cost certification. The case is fully brushed titanium, 41mm in diameter and 12.5mm thick. Now, with a lug-to-lug of 52mm, this watch may wear a little large, but perhaps this will be less of an issue because we're using fabric straps instead of the metal bracelet. At under £3,000 for a titanium hardcore dive watch from a premium brand, what's not to like? This could be the best weekender holiday beach watch available, as long as you have other means of checking your oxygen levels. Now, I like it. It's quirky, but not mad like the P01. I like the purposeful nature of the design and think it could stand next to the other dive watches in a collection. Hopefully Tudor have fixed any quality issues seen on the regular Pelegos, and maybe this design and simplification will be the blueprint for the lineup. But would I buy it? Well, yes and no. Yes, I could see it in the collection and roll it out every summer for a bit of fun. But for me, my money would be on the Black Bay ceramic. For an extra £600, you can upgrade the titanium case to ceramic, a material that will keep the watch looking like new indefinitely, as long as you don't crack it. You also get an upgrade to the MT5606 movement, found in both watches. Not only do you see the movement through the open case back with the blackened plates and bridges, but you also get METAS certification, giving it master chronometer status over and above cost. If you can find one, I think this watch is a steal, and maybe where my money goes. Do you know what I could do with a ceramic watch in the collection and a no-date wind and wear? Now, I did try this one on and I really liked it. This shortlist is getting pretty damn long. Anyway, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you like this style of video. This means so much to me and really helps push me on. Leave any comments at the end and let me know what you think about the Pelegos FXD or the Black Bay ceramic. I'm Andy, this has been the English Watch. Take care and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.